found myself, you know. Went through every number on my telephone. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. I never thought that maybe I needed a friend. You have always been there together till the end. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. Finding love ended in disaster. No such thing as happily ever after. Love ended in disaster, disaster. Now I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free.
Yo, 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 guys, what's happening? What is going on? Is everyone all good tonight? Steve, man, we're ripping it with this Steve guy. Soul Extender, what's good, bro? Jay Harding, Sand Pop Bornstein. Oh, okay, don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Famous Theme. Who else we got in here? Matt C, what's good? Monty, Coin 25. Who else we got in here? Dan, what's going on, Dan? Yo, Dan, Habib, how you doing, man? Carlos. Who else we got? Rugs Free Crows. How you doing, bro? John Rad, Jay. Hi, yes. Long and short, what's happening? Thad, how you doing, bro? It has been a minute, bro. It has sure been a minute. Mr. Dutch, I believe you're in here. Castro, what's happening? Patrick. Excuse me. System Hack. Guys, we've got an artist here, man. System Hack. My guy. Bro, listen. That song you made, bro. Fire, man. Complete fire. Unbelievable track, man. Unbelievable. Very nice Tino world. I hope everyone is all good this evening. Okay. Now, we need to have a conversation. Okay. Now, before anything happens, okay, if you have been following the stream, everything has worked exactly how we wanted it to play out. All right. Why? Why has it worked out? Why has this W now been formed? Okay, so I'm going to bring up the chart. But before I do that, I just need to add the projections channel to the pin to the chat. There we go. Got that done. There's no predictions here. It's only projections. You know, that's what we're about. Second leg of the W formation is forming. We're going to do it in two ways, guys. We're going to go straight over to MT4. And then we're going to go to Trading View. This is the only time that I use Trading View because MT4 right now, IC Markets is closed. All right. They close the actual platform. All right, and then they reopen it again. So we just got to use the conventional tools that we normally go through. All right, then. So here we go. Now, things are a little bit different on this chart compared to what we normally look at. So I'm just going to try and make it. Wait a second. Tetherance, is that going to be the same candle? No, that's the that's why it's 4 hourly. That should be 2 vectors. All right, and cool. All right, to be honest with you, the price right now of Bitcoin ain't no different to what it is on MT4. So for the sake of argument, I'm going to just do that. 2 seconds, guys. Let me just flip it all over for you. Okay. Cool. Right. Now that's set. Let's go. Here we go. So, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. I'll do full screen. Full screen is here. Right. Let's start from the beginning. Monday. False move week beginning. Moves out of the zone. Vector candle 1, 2, 3, 4. Hits the 200 EMA. Now we have had a succession of projections hit. If you had watched the stream from Sunday all the way through till now, all right, you would have had enough information to understand what was going on in the development of this pattern. All right. Now, we have sat through so many M's and W's throughout these streams. All right. The key thing for you guys is to go back to those streams and study the W's and M's that are discussed and see how similar ones will play out in the future. Okay. That's the whole point of this, is to get you to train your eyes. You're not here just to hear me talk about trading. You're here to understand trading. Okay, you want to understand something because you can see the benefit by simply understanding a pattern, confluences, candlesticks, you name it. It's all in this stream. Go back to Sunday and watch the streams. They are very short streams, only about an hour long. Go and watch the projections channel. We talk about it all the time. We have been waiting for this move to happen, and it's no surprise. Okay? Now, look. Every vector has nearly been recovered. When I say nearly, we have recovered this vector here to the left. We do have this zone left. All right, which will take us down towards the second leg of the W formation. Granted, if Bitcoin breaks this zone here, which will take us to the 28,999, if it breaks that point, all right, and goes lower, but comes straight back up and goes back into the zone, it's a valid W. Because you'll usually see spikes or wicks to the lows, and then price will end up finishing higher still and within this previous zone. That's still a valid W. However, if it does break down and continues, the pattern is invalid. So we will be looking for another pattern formation. Okay? But right now, we have had, to be frank with you guys, we have had beautiful price action this week. It has been wonderful. Right? And it's been great sitting here watching Bitcoin just recover these zones. Look at that New York session, man. We didn't think it was ever going to stop. Hits the high in the Asian session, spikes it, and then makes the beautiful retrace. Happy days. Question is, how many of you traded today? How many of you managed to capitalize on this drop? You would have understood that they needed to return to the vectors because price was so close to it. They stalled. They hit the psychological low. What did we say about the psychological low? The last time they hit the psychological low, they pulled away very aggressively from it. Look what happened. Hit the psychological low twice. M formation, drop. Whilst they dropped it, they recovered vector 1, 2, and progressively moved all the way through to 3 and working on 4. Yep. Okay then. Alright, so everyone's talking about 1.7 short and 1 long. Happy days. I feel like Warren Buffett. Making profit today. Good man, good man. London Market Maker was generous with his clue today. Matt C. Yep. I can see why that is if you're talking what I think you're talking about. Here's the Brinks box, guys. Have a look at the Brinks box. All right. This Brinks box has trapped up a lot of people here. So there were two traps. The first trap was bringing price back down to the 200 EMA, notable volume, triggering the shorts by breaking the 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, which is the 50 EMA on the 1 hourly. All right? Remember what I said last night? People set orders at the breaks of moving averages. If it hits a moving average, people believe that it's going to be the moment that it goes straight through it. Price did go through this moving average. Look. It went through it, then came back up. The next candle shook out those orders. Ironically enough, went long, closed them higher. Yeah? Then the Brinks. Stop hunt rise, hit the 50, drop. Continuation to the downside. New York. Stop hunt rise, drop. New York reversal. 2 reversal points. Actually, sorry. New York was a continuation. Excuse me. Forgive me. New York was a continuation. This is an example of it. Price comes down in the preceding trend. Hits the Brinks. Stop hunt low. Rise. Drop. Stop hunt rise. Drop. That's how they do it. Yeah? So you see the two movements. Stop hunt low. Rise. Stop hunt rise. Drop. So they're catching out the traders. Building the longs. Committing the shorts. Taking out the shorts by hitting the short stops, fulfilling the longs, keeping price within that zone, rejection, drop. All right? And we are where we are right now. Bitcoin on the hourly. I know this is not in the correct time, guys. I'm aware of that. This is just for visual right here. Today's movement was very aggressive. It broke through the range daily low, all right? Tried to come back up above it, but then completely dropped again. Why? The thing is, the vector candles to the left, all right? They were using the final day of the week to effectively grab the last pool of liquidity, okay? So that they can set price for the next move. Now, what I'm saying is, if this vector candle down here is the support, the ultimate true support in the chart, wherever Bitcoin is now, we'll need to move away from it and start the move up. However, we will only know if they move up. Because right now there is a chance that Bitcoin could come back up towards the 50, bounce away from it, and continuation to the downside. Okay? Which then we could have another instance of a potential inverted head and shoulders, which is a variation of a W. So we're still stuck in a range, guys. Now, this is for guys who are going to be trading on higher time frames or swing trading as such. Day traders, you have a windfall of opportunities to go into. We've been treated very nicely this week. We've had awesome opportunities. Whenever you see vector candles at the start of the week, guaranteed, they're probably going to be looking to recover to those points. All right? Especially if they're very close. No, the blue candles are considered vectors. It just means that price is starting to rise. Remember that. Blue candles means price is starting to rise. All right? PC Shed, Dutch, how you doing? We've got a lot of family in here tonight. What's going on, Mike, man? How you doing, bro? Do I think it will drop more today? Well, let's actually look at the real chart right now. Let me just flip it over for you. Look at that transition, man. Bad boy. All right, then. Look. So this is, of course, trading view. All right, so we don't exactly have the right vector candles. Now, I don't know if I've got the right version of trading view on here, or should I say, whoa, what have I gone and done? Oh, my God. What on earth is that? What's happened here? Remove that. Anyway. Okay, look. So this is trading view. We recovered the vectors right here. We do have vectors down here, but they're not the same. Now, the reason why the vectors on this chart right here All right, we are trading Bitcoin USDT, and on MT4 we are trading just Bitcoin dollar. The candlesticks are the same near enough. The notable volumes are not so much the same because there's a blue vector candle here, but on MT4 there's a green one. And the reason being, guys, is because it's different price feeds, okay? Which is why I try and say, you know, use MT4 as the base to consider what they are going to try and do if you're trying to find vector candles. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people with different variations, different brokers, different exchanges, pulling different candlesticks, missing out on certain candlesticks, saying there's no vectors when there is vectors. It can get quite confusing. But remember that the indicators that we use, they are mainly designed for MT4. That's the thing. No, they're all designed for MT4. So we've got to consider that. Right? But let's look at this. We have got a W formation right here. How smooth is that? Now, for this W to actually be valid, we need to consider the candlesticks that are appearing right now. All right? We're getting pins to the low. Bitcoin needs to stabilize in this zone. Now, it is Friday, and we are coming into the weekend. Could we get another pump to the downside? Well, we'll get another move to the upside before we get a move to the downside. All right, we've got Asian session tonight that will effectively absorb what has happened here. But guys, this is consistent with a W formation. All right, let me explain the psychology behind the pattern. All right, so that you guys understand what is going on. Okay, right. Let me bring this into this. What's the purpose? Okay, cool. Interesting. Right. Let me bring this down. All right, can you see that? Yeah? Is that all good? Cool. And I'll bring that over here. Happy days. Okay, cool. So, why is this a psychological pattern? Well, let's talk. Firstly, market makers induce the retail trader to drop price. How do they do it? They make them become fearful. All right? People come to YouTube. People go on Instagram. People go everywhere. They just want to confirm that everyone thinks Bitcoin is dropping. So then they come to the market and they start placing their shorts. Market maker will allow them to place a short because he sells it to them. Okay? He gives it to them. He buys it from them. He buys. He gets his longs filled at lower prices. Everyone going short, market makers going long. When he's trapped enough people to the downside and got them committed, which is what happened here with these strong vectors, funnily enough, volume only started to rise on the way down. So that was a nice little signal there. Climatic volume coming in, vector candle, and then another one, but it wasn't as strong as this one. Okay, so it started to slow down. Then they reversed. Market maker needed to shift out of the zone. He gets the stops from the retail trader who went short. He takes them out by moving price back up. So he fulfills his longs. He starts getting his money back on the longs. He then hits the highs. Okay. He's taken out all of the shorts that have gone here. He's used their liquidity, in other words, their stops, to feed his longs. Okay. Then the market maker stabilizes in this zone. Right? He gets them committed yet again. He brings price back down. They think, okay, great. I can actually jump back in on this move to the downside. So they start moving price down lower. Funnily enough, they build their shorts at the highest possible point, get the retail trader to go short so that he can recover his shorts at this point and get longs at a lower price. You see how they're doing it all the time. Yeah? Then he comes back up again and takes out the shorts for the retail trader who went short here, and he fulfills his orders down here as well. He then moves price up. He starts building his shorts again. The retail trader is thinking, hold on a second. It looks like we've just had a lower high, higher low. That means Bitcoin is going to return back up. Let's start going long. So the market maker tricks them. Notable volume coming in. The moon boy stepping in. Price is rising. Stopping volume appears. Look. Remember when I said to you a couple of nights ago in the stream that stopping volume does imply, especially with the Patreons. Remember we were talking about it. Stopping volume means something's going to change, but it will not show you when, but you know at some point it will. So then when you collate the information all together and get the confluences, where are you? Well, price is moving away from the 50 EMA. Okay. It's recovered this previous vector, red vector right here, which was originally a green candle, but then it pulled all the way back down to a red. Okay. We're at the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. Notable volume coming in at the highs. Climatic volume, which means the market maker has now got the retail trader trapped at the highs. Pinned to the high, brings it back, hits the psychological low, and then he pulls it back. So then he's got the retail trader committed to go long when originally they were short. He made them change their mind. He built his shorts at the highest possible point, and then he reverses the whole trend. Why is that relevant? Because the second leg of a W formation is to get the retail trader to get fully committed to the idea that price is going to continue to drop after he's shaken them up with this sort of move here. And then they think, right, okay, we aren't going to go up to the upside now. We're going to go short. I'm going to double down. Then you start seeing a lot of vectors towards the second leg of a W formation. Now, is this the final point on the chart? We do still have some vectors down here to recover. All right. Is the retail trader still committed to going lower? So the market maker will have to fulfill that obligation. But be aware, market maker is building positions. So at what point, okay, will he start to move price back up? Well, what is Friday famous for? Friday is famous for development of a pattern or a run for profit. Now, there's a difference between a run for profit and a development of a pattern. We are forming the second leg of a W formation. Now, if you go down to the 1 minute time frame and you see these vectors, okay, of course it looks like a run for profit. But in the grand scheme of things, they are setting things up for the weekend. Now, if there is no information that comes out over the weekend to trigger Bitcoin to go lower, then the market maker will then use this time to consolidate a little bit more. He may even come back up one more time and bring price back down again to potentially form an inverted head and shoulders. All right? Which means if he moves price back up, he will then come back down again and then tap this liquidity here. So then he would have officially formed an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Okay? All that is left for us to do is to sit and wait. It's the weekend, guys. Proceed with caution. If you want to trade the weekends, by all means, go ahead. But people do get wrecked at the weekends. People get committed to trading at the weekends because they may not have the time during the week. I understand that. But you're trading in low volume, high volatility zones. All right. Saturday, tomorrow, normally we see a little bit of movement. And then from about 6:30, 7, all right, price will just be stagnated. It won't do anything. Even before that, it will just go sideways. And then on Sunday, it will start to move. And then we will get the psychological high and low for the week. And that brings us to the Sunday night stream. And then Monday, false move week beginning. Happy days. You get the idea. All right. Looks like you're shopping with the wife tomorrow. Dozer. Did she find out, bro? I know. The bingo chat. I know it's really good. People are waiting for me to say certain things. All right. They are waiting for me to say certain things so they can hit the bingo. So that's all good. Who set up the shorts today in the downtrend? Retail or market maker? Guys, listen. Every single move on the chart is influenced by the market maker. It can only form a candle if there is a retail trader and a market maker present. Okay? Haven't you noticed how the UK and the London session, all right, So let me bring it back to MT4. Let me show you something. Let me zoom in. Right. If I go to the 15-minute time frame, okay? So earlier on, these were the projection points that we were waiting for, and they were successfully hit. But look at this. London initiated the stop hunt rise drop, okay? New York comes in, all right, hits the high, and today they were in sync with each other, all right? There are days when once London is finished, the US gets to make the move, okay? So look, the Asian session, okay? The UK and the US worked in sync with each other. So the market makers of the UK or Europe and the US had the same idea with the Asian session. The Asian session always sets up the zones, and it always creates the false moves, which is why I don't trade the Asian session. I will only trade the Asian session if I see a certain move that is either a fake move which I can capitalize on, like if you remember Bitcoin, when was it? It was this candle here. All right, I took this trade, waited for this notable volume to finalize, all right, and then bang, straight out the zone. Managed to take an entry on this move to the upside. Happy days. But those are the only times I'm going to trade, when volatility and volume are stepping in. All right. But this is what I mean about the Asian session, and it's the important session of all times. All right. It's not important to trade. It's important to pay attention to it because it's setting up the range for the rest of the day. Look, Asian session. They hit the high, set up the longs, sending price down lower and lower. They get on the blower to the guys in Europe and say, yo, we've managed to trap the shorts. Okay? Just as this finishes, this is the dead gap time right here. They set up the shorts, get on the phones to the Europe and say, yo, guys, listen, we've managed to commit $500 million worth of shorts to the downside. All right? But we've obviously built our longs at that point. So the guys in the UK then say, all right, then let's flip and whack the range. Let's get a few more, and then we can make a run for profit. Asian market makers say thank you very much. So then the UK send price higher. Up it goes, up it goes, up it goes. New York gets wind of this. And then they have a conversation with the UK. The UK tell them, yo, guys, Asia managed to trap 500 billion previously. Okay, to the downside. Sorry, 500, yeah, $500 million to the downside. All right, in shorts. All right, we've managed to move price higher. Your previous session, did you achieve what you wanted to achieve? New York looks to the left and says, yeah, we've got liquidity trapped from the Brinks box from the last session. We managed to get some longs at this area here. We're going to make a run for profit. UK says, no problem. We'll supply you with liquidity. Send price up. Let us get some more longs filled at a lower price so we can follow you and help you move price higher. Stop hunt rise, drop, shift out of the zone, hit the absolute high, notable volume hits at the psychological low, look left, the US gets paid, UK gets paid, Asia gets paid, and then the whole process starts again. Asia comes into the wind. US start to get some positions closed, and the Asian session sets up a couple of longs, spike up higher, set the trap for the shorts, bang, they bring price back down. They get on the blower to the UK. They say the same story again to them. We managed to grab the guys. Okay, we've got them committed. Now listen, look at where the conversation changes. Flip over to the 1 hour time frame. Okay? Funnily enough, at the dead gap time and the London Brinks, where is it? It's at the 50 EMA. When price has been rising, who's buying the dip? The retail trader. Yeah? He's buying the dip because he thinks it's still going to continue higher. Well, there's your volume. UK stop hunt rise, drop, and it collapses. US session does exactly the same thing. Retrace, drop. Not one indicator has been mentioned other than understanding the behavior of the candlesticks. This is the business. This is how it works. Okay? Which is why I say to you, focus on the business model. There are market makers for each other and there are market makers against each other. All right? But they do work together, which is why I say to you one more time, the Asian session sets up the intention for the Europe and the US session. They set the range, okay? Funnily enough, when you look at the chart, all right, look at what happens when they've built their intentions, setting up the shorts, building the longs, UK shifting out away from the Asian session high. Of course, the Asian session low is nowhere to be seen there. The Asian session high and the Asian session low, range traders like to trade these sessions because they set orders at the highs and the lows and at the midpoint of the session as well. All right. The Asian session is really a scalper's haven. When you see these wild, volatile movements, you need to stay away from them. The Asian session needs to be a small, contained move, so it's obvious that the market makers are trying to do something in these zones. Okay? So look at this. On... oh, God. Wait there. This is going to take me a little while. Oh, bloody hell. Here we go. Watch this. So, this is Euro USD. Alright? If I bring up the actual Asian session open and what have you, check this out. Where is it? Work time, see. Okay. Now, forget the colors a sec, okay? I just want you to pay attention to something. Oh, God. Euro USD's had a big hit, so I ain't going to see it clearly. Okay, then, cool. Right. On the chart, you can see these numbers. R21, R19, R22, R22, R14, right? Those are the ranges of the New York session and the Asian session. All right. Now, what's important about these ranges? In Forex, you really want to only focus on currency pairs that have had ranges in the Asian session that are between 20 and 50 pips. Anything above, the Asian session has been manipulated. So you're not going to get true behavior. Okay? You want to stay away from that. Notice how the ranges themselves, you can see 15 pip range, very controlled movement in this zone. So once a notable candle comes in, you pretty much know what's going to happen. They're offloading, getting ready to recover these vector candles to the downside. Look right, look left, recovery. If the Asian session is too wide, okay, then there's clear manipulation. It's not right for us. Work on to the next currency pair. Yeah? Now, visually, because of how long I've been staring at these charts on Bitcoin, I can gather what kind of range Bitcoin ideally needs to be in the light of the Asian session. Okay? This is too much of a big range. This was a clear manipulation. Because if you notice, on the Tuesday, the price action was so dodgy. Look at it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. There's no direction. Then out of nowhere, stop hunt rise, drop. We knew they were going to recover this vector candle, but they sure kept us waiting. Then we had this session here. Look at this. It's a nice small Asian session compared to the last one. So you can see that they actually built the positions trapped the retail traders short and moved out of the zone. US stepped in, did exactly the same thing. This session was very controlled. Stop, hunt, rise, collapse. Yeah? So I hope you guys are getting that, man. I haven't looked at the chat yet. Gianni, how are you, man? Gap down on MT4. Is it open? Here we go. Happy days. Let's see. Okay, look. This gap's going to get filled. This gap is going to get filled. Okay. So if you look at the chart on... if you look here... See on trading view, it's just a long drop in price. Where is it? Ah, shit. Here you go. It's a long... It's not even a drop in price. Look, it's just trading lower. Okay? But on MT4, it's a different story. You can exploit these gaps. Now, these gaps are a bit tricky at times. Okay? Because sometimes price will continue lower. Then it will fill the gap. This is just an exhaustion of the orders that they stopped allowed coming in, and the orders that were processed before the market closed. Because people know the times that IC markets closes, and they set their orders, they pump them in so that they can anticipate a benefit from the gap up or the gap down. All right? So you can see, you'll see in a short moment that this gap here will be recovered. All right. Watch the spreads. They'll start widening shortly because they need to fill that gap. Yeah, transition is fire. Transition is fire. Thanks, Tao Tao. Yeah, I advise you listen to the last 20 minutes. I'm going to timestamp it. Listen to the last 20 minutes. How do I do that? I don't even know, man. Guys, I'm new to YouTube. Yes, I've been here 6 months, but 90% of what I do on YouTube is courtesy of Mike. So, I just know how to upload videos. Anything else is Mike's turn. When it goes wrong, blame Mike. All right? Blue Heisenberg today. You enjoyed the 8 rules. Wonderful. The gap appears because there's been an exhaustion of orders on this platform. All right. When you talk about candle recovery, let's say the lowest hourly vector candle sits at 229, but then looked at the min chart. The lowest sits 29,595, which is valid. Whichever one they send price to. They're both valid. All right. Don't be too meticulous with the actual vector candles, because remember, always remember, right? The vector candles will get recovered. It's just a matter of when. Now, the only time that they don't get recovered, okay, is when price goes completely away from the zone, all right? And they will double up their orders. However, just watch this. I'm going to go back in time. Look at this gap getting filled right now. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is such a clue, man. I'm telling you now. All right. Over the weekend, guys, you really need to go over the charts. So important. Okay. So from the 26th of April, here's an example. 26th of April. Not many people were really paying attention to the fact that this vector candle here would need to be recovered. Because everyone was like, yeah, Bitcoin's going to bullish. Yeah, wicked. Look, it's going to 58, 60K. You know, we're going to go back up. Happy days. This, my friends, was buying the dip. This move here was everybody buying the dip. All right. Now, from the 25th of April, going all the way through to the 12th of May, okay, you probably weren't really going to be paying attention to this, especially when it was up here. All right. But if you look closely, stopping volume appears right there. Didn't move straight away, and they didn't allow it to go really any further. Look at what the stopping volume candle did. Look at how far it went from this point here. Didn't really go far. This is retail traders trying to move price up with market maker assistance, but they don't allow it to go any higher. The market makers contained price in this zone. People will call this a rejection. They will say, oh, this is the market rejecting the zone, showing support at the 50 EMA. This is a hammer, an inverted hammer, whatever you want to call it. It's not a rejection, okay? It's market makers just grabbing liquidity from the lows and bringing price back up, okay? That's what they were doing there. There's a big difference between rejection and grabbing liquidity. All right? Big difference. Yeah? Stopping volume. Didn't allow price to go much higher. Then the true intention came. Up it goes. And then collapses. You look left. Recovery of the vector. Complete. Now, we can go on for recovery of vector candles for days. All right? I mean, look, this chart has got all of my annotations on, man. Unbelievable. There's that messy point in the chart. That gap right there. I'm not going to talk about it. And look, here's that vector candle down here, which brings us down to the 20K mark. Now, the interesting thing is, will this vector get recovered? And if it does get recovered, but the principle of vectors is just astonishing. Now, this is quite far away. This was nearly what? Last year, man. All right? If price does get to this sooner, okay, or price just continues away from the point that it's at now and goes further up, it will be nearly a year that it's not recovered this vector here. Now, can we say it's not going to recover it? Who knows? But the principle says that the vectors need to be recovered. All right? Which then brings me to the next chart. Listen, I use this chart to help bring focus to you guys. All right? It's a sad looking chart. All right? But this looks like Bitcoin. If we were to get a coin that was just listed on an exchange, this is the exact behavior we would see. We'd see a spike up and then drop down, regulate, and then we will know its true intention. Okay? Vector candles. Very strong vectors happening in this zone. Remember, the guys that trade on the exchanges are not interested in accumulation of Bitcoin. If they want it, they'll go and buy it and chuck it in a cold wallet. They can exploit its value on the exchanges because there's more money on the electronic central network, the bigger platforms, which is why you're now seeing a lot of exchanges like IC Markets, Forex.com, all these big players, these big trading zone houses, platforms, you name it. All the guys that have created this platform for the banks, market makers to all reside within, they're all now offering crypto. If you go back in the previous streams, guys, you will know that IC Markets only provided Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, all right, and Litecoin. The other coins were just BS, all right? Now you can trade Link, You can trade DOT and XLM. So they're starting to add coins to this platform. Now I've got this theory, whether it's sound or not, who knows? But principally it makes sense. Why are people buying cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, and putting it into cold wallets? All right. And the only reason why they're putting it into cold wallets is because then they're going to hit the exchanges, use leverage, get mass amounts of liquidity, which is fed by the retail trader and matched by the market maker. And they can exploit the value of Bitcoin on the charts. Remember, when you're trading on an electronic central network, you don't trade Bitcoin physically. You're just trading contract for difference. You just base it that price is going to start here. You'll say, for example, you say, I'm going to go long here, and then I'm going to sell here, for example. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to hit the exchanges because they can inflate the value and deflate it better on the exchanges. All right. Forex, $6.5 trillion daily turnover marketplace. It's the most liquid market in the world. All right. They trade yen, dollar, gold. They hit the exchanges. That's all they're doing. That's my theory anyway. That's my concept. All right. All right. Right. Okay then. Now, let me just do something here a second. Hold on. Right. Okay. Right now, the month is coming towards an end. The W formation that is within this monthly candle. Okay. If their intention is to go back up, I mean, it would be nice if they did go back up, but we would need a lot of money to come into the marketplace. We would need some awesome news to bring Bitcoin back up, because the pattern, look at the behavior of price on the monthly time frame. All right. Everything is extended away from the moving averages. It's quite sad to say, but these vectors might actually just get recovered. I ain't trying to scaremonger anyone, but that's the truth. If the vectors apply themselves on the 1 hour time frame, the 10-minute time frame, 1 minute tick charts, okay, we can't come to the monthly chart and look at it and be like, oh no, it can't apply there. Nah, forget that. I'm just going to go back to the 4 hour and feel good about shit. Right? This is why I'm a day trader. I don't like to get caught up in that sort of predicament where I'm going to hold price. You know, I mean, holders themselves, different story. Okay. Can you imagine the holders who have been holding Bitcoin and brought down when it was 17K and went all the way up to 65 nearly? Some of them are still holding. And now it's down, what, 32? They obviously see the bigger picture. We're in the adoptive stages, guys. This is just a standard rise up and down. Then we're just going to wait for the normality to come in, and Bitcoin is going to start getting adopted everywhere. And then we're going to start seeing some decent movements. Okay? But these green vectors will be seen. It's broken through the 13 EMA on the monthly chart and come back up, but it's coming close towards it now. So, and that's not me trying to FUD you guys out. It's just trying to help you guys see things in perspective and not be naive. All right? It might make, I'm having this conversation again with you guys. It might actually make you think differently about cryptocurrency. Have a strategy. If you're a holder, do you want to sit through a drawdown? Because, yep, we do assume that price could come back down here to the concept of these vector candles. All right? Because remember, on these exchanges, they don't care about the value of Bitcoin or accumulating it. They build their shorts at the highest possible point and then drop price. And get all those orders built back up again. And then they start again. Now, the 50 EMA on Bitcoin has been doing very well for us. Look, it's just been right. See, look, monthly time frame. This was back in 2017 when people were talking that market makers, not market makers, but big money wasn't really in cryptocurrency. Yeah? They went up. They came all the way back down. All right? Went up, came down. They went up. Where will they come down? That's the question. But let's focus on what's happening now, because that's all we've got. So let's look at that gap. Did they fill that gap? There you go. The gap effectively got filled near enough, or it's getting filled as we speak right now. So we've got what? 17,000 pips. It's a small amount. It's getting filled as we speak. Ideally now, I want Bitcoin really to just stay in this zone. Because if we can capitalize on Bitcoin coming back up to recover these candles and hit these projections, then that'll be good news for us. All right, then this W formation will play out. All right. Now listen, with this monthly time frame, doesn't mean the next month is going to go lower. They might even just go back up again and then go down. This is a monthly time frame, so think in terms of months. Okay. XRP to 22 based on your monthly time frame principle. Yep. Hands up. I'm just trying to Everyone's asking me why am I looking at monthly time frame. It's to help you guys understand the concept of the vector candles. All right? This is what I'm trying to get across to you. We can accept the vectors on the 1 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily. But when we come to the monthly time frame, people stand up and think, shit, that's bad news. I don't like the look of that. Could Bitcoin actually go down to 19 or 10 grand based on the concept of these vector candles? The lowest point of the last vector right there is 13,914. That's crazy, isn't it? We just dropped from 64 and we're now looking to see if we can come back there. Remember, guys, yes, billionaires are coming into crypto. Big whales are buying cryptocurrency. But just remember this, guys. They're buying whilst it's dropping. So they obviously think it's going to continue higher. For us, we see this and think, oh no. You know, my portfolio is going to get battered if it goes all the way down to 13K. It all depends on how you think about it. This is accumulation. All right? And remember, these whales and these billionaires have the liquidity to sit through this sort of drop. If they're buying 1,500 Bitcoin, you think they care if it drops down? They'll just be like, let's buy some more. If you're buying 1,500 Bitcoin, bruv, do you think you're going to be worried about what price is doing if you're projecting that it's going to be higher at a later point? Yeah? That's what I'm saying to you. It's like, this is why when you're trading, right? You need to understand when you're trading with your own capital, how much drawdown can you sit through? It all depends on your balance. If you've got 5 grand and you're taking £10 trades where if you get a massive move to the upside, you're only really going to make 10, 12 pounds. Well, you've got a lot of liquidity behind you and the chances of your account going risk to ruin is minimal. All right. The market would have to completely be battered for you to even lose £100 if you're using really, really small sizes in relation to the balance that you're trading with. These big whales have got deep pockets. And that's the luxury of trading, guys. You can get in and out. Expose your money for a short amount of time, get out, and you'll achieve the same amount of money that a swing trader would achieve over holding a position over 3-4 days. Happy days. Sinead, that is a valid point. It's a monthly time frame, okay? And it can happen. Maximus Power, bro, I ain't slipping. I'm addressing. Do you understand? Yeah? I ain't slipping, bro. Truth is truth. Whether it's on the 1 minute or the monthly. If I'm going to be naive and not show you the monthly time frame, okay? How typical would it be of me, and how much of a cliche would it look if I turn around and say, yeah, but look at the monthly time frame, the vectors have been recovered? You would have probably said, well, why didn't you tell us about it beforehand? This is what I mean. We've got to be sharp. We always got to be on our toes, because that's the nature of this game. All right? This is it. When everyone is selling, people are buying, guys. That's the nature of this game. That's how they do it. All right? We can't hide away from the fact. And you've noticed that I've saved it for you. And now I've come to the monthly time frame to explain to you what is going on. All right? Just look at the daily. Look at this. I'm a short-term day trader, guys. I'm doing this to help you understand something. All right? Just look at this. Red vector candle on the daily time frame. Spikes all the way down. Green vector here. Steps in. Full recovery of the red vector candle. Okay? Look at where it finishes. That's a little bit frightening, isn't it? Funny how they recover nearly 98% of that red vector candle. Okay? And then look what happens. Price completely drops. All right? That is weak. That is a weak move. All right? But they're setting up a pattern. Is this going to be the pattern where they'll try and send Bitcoin back up one more time to recover these zones? But we have got an interesting cross right here, so we're going to have to wait a few days for that to expand. All right? Not that that is really going to be... If it happens, it happens. But that's going to take a long time before it actually comes into the play. And that's the problem. People trade off the actual cross happening. But they need to wait a few more days. All right? The cross happened. Right? And price was rising. So you can imagine how many people went short purely on the principle of the cross. Yeah? And they got trapped. Nah, man. Got to be careful. I like these time frames. These hourly time frames. Because I will flip over to the daily. I will flip over to the weekly. Flip over to the monthly. To see, are there any vectors? If there isn't, I'll go back into my time frame. 1 hour, 30 minute, 15, 5, 1. And I'll trade on that basis. This is why I say to you guys, don't have a bias. Work with what you've got in front of you. Yeah? Work with what you've got. You're traders, guys. You're not investors. If you're investors, it's a different story. You're traders. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right? A trader is a trader. He's in and he's out. He puts money down. He pays to play. He takes his money out when he realizes a profit, or he cuts his loss so that he can look for the next entry. A trader is not an investor. A trader is a trader. An investor is an investor. Holder is a holder. Hodler, whatever you want to call it. Make the decision. If you're a trader, this stream is for you. If you're an investor, there's nothing wrong in watching the stream. But we're going to be talking about volatility, man. You're going to be seeing a lot of this up and down business. We're going to be looking into candlesticks like this, where we'll be bringing the chart up and you'll see these big red drops and these continuous drops in price. You'll see a chart and think, Jesus, what has happened there? What coin is that? And then you'll quickly look at your portfolio and say, Jesus, Bitcoin is actually dropping so much. I can't believe it, when all you've done is looked at the 5-minute time frame. An investor is someone that really should only look at his portfolio every quarter. I say monthly. But he should look at it every quarter. Because he's investing money. He needs to allow it to grow. You invest, it means you believe in something. You've got a belief. All right? An investor stops becoming an investor when he can't apply his belief any longer. Until he can't be married to a belief anymore. Until he thinks, that's it, I can't take it, I need to pull my money out. Those of you who are holders, you need to have a strategy behind you. You need to try and minimize risk exposure. If the cross golden death is lagging indicator, don't you think its action already affected the chart in the past? Very true. Because it triggers people to do something. Yeah? It triggers people to do something. That's what it does. And when they do that something, that's when it changes in the opposite direction. All right? See right there. Dogecoin is still my baby. All right? This is why Bitcoin will come back down and it will always go back up. Belief. All right? Belief is solid. And when you've got thousands of people that have a belief, the dynamics of the marketplace will reflect that. Okay? All it's going to take is only a certain few heavyweights to trigger something. They'll release something in the news. And that news could actually spark Bitcoin to just go zooming straight back up. All right? I'm just reading this. I'm reading the chat. Now that this channel is bearish too, finally the MM can pump. Great way to see it done. That is the best way to see it. Listen. Oh, look at Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. Okay, let me zoom out. We're starting to see some activity right now. So, they filled that gap. Look. There's the gap filled right there. So this went down, spiked up, filled the gap. Now we're going to see the intention. Look at this behavior, guys. They still got room. Now remember, we've got this zone right here. And it will still be valid for the pattern. Okay? It will still be valid for the pattern. Just going to get concerning if they break down here. If they break the range daily low, we still have room all the way to the 29,009. Okay? If they do, this zone right here will be the absolute ultimate support for Bitcoin. If they break this zone, you get the idea. Oh my god. Not sure how long of some you've made. Crypto is not dead. Do you understand? It's not. They're just, this is trading, guys. All right, this is trading. It's just that a lot of you guys are probably holders. And you're going to try and make a decision like, oh, now my portfolio is going to go down. What am I going to do? Do I cash out and then just turn to trading and try and grow my balance from there? There are so many other avenues that you can go to when it comes to cryptocurrency. We'll look back at these moments and think, whatever, man. It's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, I hold. I ain't going to hide from that. I hold. I hold certain crypto coins, okay? I have them on a laptop, and I haven't switched that laptop on in probably 5-6 months. Everything's on that laptop. I don't care about it. I made a commitment. I've brought these cryptocurrency. I don't care what's going on with them. I'll check them out. Year 2. Not interested. Not going to turn them into USDT. Not interested. But that's what holders are, yeah? How many bear markets do you think Warren Buffett sat through? How many bull markets has he sat through? I believe in cryptocurrency, the utility of cryptocurrency, which by nature itself, it solves a problem. All we're waiting for is for that utility to be adopted, solves the problem, and then we can then look at the charts and be like, right, okay, I remember back when Bitcoin was 35,000 or 65,000, and then we're looking at Bitcoin and it's at like 250. All right. So what I'm trying to get across to you guys, man, I really want you to understand. This is why I trade. I trade because I'm not going to get myself caught up in worrying if Bitcoin drops and then all my altcoins that I've got, are now going to start dropping. I don't care. There's no interest for me. I've just brought a bag of them. Happy days. Leave them there. That's what they're there for. I believe in the technology. I believe in cryptocurrency. All right. We are getting the best volatility right now, guys. All right. The best volatility in the cryptocurrency world. The adoption phase. More and more people are starting to understand the benefit. All right. If it takes a complete crash, a drop in price, bringing Bitcoin down to reset, which to me, a reset for Bitcoin will be about 10 grand, for example. With the amount of money that is present right now in cryptocurrency, it will not take long for them to move it back up. Look at the monthly time frame. Okay. Look, in 1 month, it went from 17,000 all the way up to 30 in 1 month. Okay. It went from 31,000 all the way up to 58,000 in 1 month. Okay. So it's not going to take long to bring price back to these zones. So by that token, just because price is dropping now, it's taken them 1 month to go from 59 all the way down to 27. So all you got to do is wait 3 weeks, guys, and we'll be out the bearish market. That's exactly what I'm saying. Philip. Exactly that. Get your money prepared. As traders, don't care about this chart. I'm interested in what's going on right now, because I'm going to try and make a quick buck from this point here, either to go up or to go down. Go bed. Happy days. All right. Come back to the chart. Tuesday. Let me have a look at my ranges. What's the Asian session saying? Happy days. Price rises up. Okay, cool. Do you think I cared about a bearish market when price was doing this on that Tuesday? Nah. Do you think I cared about it here? Nah. Do you think I cared about it here? No. That's what I'm saying. Traders, we have the luxury of being able to zone in on what's happening right now and take it for what it is right now. We don't allow no bearish, no bullish, no sentiment, no nothing. Because ultimately, what people say about Bitcoin is their future expectations of it. But we're working with the now. And the sooner you get that in your mind, the easier your trading is going to become, and you'll be able to approach it systematically and objectively and not emotionally. Because when people are talking about Bitcoin going down to 10 grand, okay, you're going to look at these sort of green vectors and be like, yeah, but Bitcoin's going to go to 10 grand though. They're talking about it going to 10. I'm going to skip it, man. I don't want to get caught up in, you know, in a bearish cycle. I ain't going to go long in a bearish cycle. And then, well, you've just missed out on a fat move to the upside. Okay? You just missed out from 28 all the way up to flipping 35. That's a nice move on the chart, guys. If you're trading, that's a huge move to the upside. Depending on your leverage and your size that you're putting down. All right? Right, Paperboy, listen, this green box is not that sort of indicator. The green box itself is Asian session. It's just 8 hours long. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sorry. 9 hours for a trading day. Okay? Once it finishes, that's when the UK session comes in. 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, Europe time. Another 9 hours. Then you got the remaining day. All right? This is it, Android Doctor. Bitcoin can move up 10k in one day. All right? Can move up 10k. It can drop 10k. It can move up 20k. It can move up 30k if the volume is there. All right? Just look. Bitcoin went down from this high all the way down there. So from, where was it? 33 all the way down to 20. Not this move. Not this move. That's not the move I'm looking for. Where are you? Here's the move. This is the move that I'm talking about. From 40 all the way down to 28. Okay? What a crazy move. Yeah? But then it came straight back up in the same day. What is that? All right? Which, I'll bring it back to the chart. It took a month from the high, 59, to go all the way down to 28. All right? It took a month to go from 32 to 58. What I'm saying to you guys is, so what if Bitcoin goes down to 13 grand? All right? So what? Different money's here now. All right? Different technology. The technology that Bitcoin and all the other gangs, all the other coins, that were applying back here, back in 2017, you know, people were just understanding what white papers were. And then they understood what was going on. That's where you see the spike up. And then people started to adopt it. And then we get this consolidation period where it's not really doing anything. Now people are buying it and adopting the technology. People are using it as legal tender. Everything's going crazy now. All right? Don't worry, guys. They'll bring it back up. The same way they can bring it down, they can bring it back up. No bias. All right? That's the beauty of this. Have no bias. Right. Let me zoom in. Let's have a look at what they are actually doing. Okay, Bitcoin is actually going lower. Let's check this out. It's the Asian session. It's a Saturday. They're absorbing the information from what's happened in the US session. All right. They're working the low. They've actually tapped it. So we're going to know if this is going to continue lower. We could get price down to the 30k mark, guys. It could actually happen tonight. which will be consistent because it's starting to work the previous vector down here. So funny how they've actually brought it down straight away in the same week. Brilliant, isn't it? People keep asking this question. If they recover the green vector at the bottom, how do they keep price up overall? Look. Look, this green vector appeared here. And then it went up and it went up. That's how they move price. But we've been stuck in a range in Bitcoin. All right, we've been stuck in this boring range from 40k, all right, down to 30. It was 8, but it's now a 10k range. That's where Bitcoin has been at. From here down to here. All right, well, no, where is it? 30. That's where we're at right now. Okay. When it breaks out of this point, sentiment will change, and then they'll be moving back. They're looking at recovering previous vectors in this part of the chart. All right. Then what they'll do is they'll start introducing more green vectors to send it higher. So in other words, go back to the monthly. These candlesticks have vectors within them. And the fact that none of these candles have appeared as vectors, all right, tells me that if they do recover this candle down here, we may see a vector there, which will then trigger price to come back up. But we could get a stabilization like this. Elijah, I'm staking. I'm staking. Okay then. Coolio. Right. It's the weekend, guys. Okay. Patreons, we're going to go over to the stage. All right. I just want to chat to you guys for a bit. Mike, Dutch, are you going to be available to do that for a few moments? It's not going to be long. I just want to pop in there for a quick just to let people know about tomorrow. The Saturday stream for the patrons and the members, okay, is going to be later on in the day. I'm going to aim to make it for about 4, 5 o'clock. All right, because I know I do it really early in the morning, and some guys don't get the luxury of being in the actual stream itself. Okay, so I'm going to be sending. Yeah, I'll be getting the notification out to you guys about 4:30, 5 o'clock tomorrow. All right. And we have the Saturday stream at that time. All right. If it's any sooner, I'll let you know. But it's likely to be about 4:30, 5 o'clock. All right. Because I'll be going to my mother's tomorrow. And the internet will be all right at that point anyway. Okay. But I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Okay. It's the weekend. Enjoy it as the weekend. Don't get caught up in trading. Okay? Revise the charts. Go back in the previous streams. Absorb the information. Come back to the chart. Try and apply it. Draw your projections. Right now, we're waiting for this W formation to play out. Remember, if it breaks down below this key point down here, price can even come all the way down to this point and bounce back, and it will still be a valid W. Okay? Cool. Listen, if you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. If not, mad love and respect to you. I hope you've managed to understand how this game works. Okay? Stay safe, guys. And I will see you on Sunday night stream for the psychological zones. Okay? Mad love and respect to all of you. Peace.